What it do?
What is up?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Nothing much. I'll get that crap off the screen.
That was dope.
Right? I did it right, but I just can't get it off the screen. Oh, there. I know how to do it now. Oh, such a goober. Oh, man. Where is everybody at?
They sleep or something.
I know, man. Usually, like, somebody's on here saying something first.
I know.
Oh, they don't like us no more.
I know. Like, what we do?
They're all watching somebody else.
Dude, I was sitting there watching that Cat Williams in the shade.
Man, I thought you were watching football. It sounded like.
I was sitting there laughing my ass off. It's a trip.
Oh, there they go. There's Norm. What's up, Norm? Like, cheers, Norm.
What's up? Hey, Rigo.
Norm. Yeah, I know. I was trying to ignore him. Tony Lucas, what's up, brother?
What's going on, guys?
And Jay Colt, man, I ain't seen you in a minute, bro. I got some stuff heading to you through what's his name? Jay Colt through golly, Trap House. Let's see. Fucker. I know, right? I wasn't really trying to ignore you. I just teasing, man. I got my spot looking pretty good. I like yours. I like the pink light. Is it light different?
It's like red and blue. Yeah. It's
all right, well,
then again, the live is pink. Not bad. Shit, I take that back. But
it does look pink.
In that room, I'm in the same room, but right. I figured, hell, I can use this smaller room in here, and it'll be my own little personal little spot.
Man, I wish I had rooms to choose from. I'm like trying to take over my house and shit. Like,
it's literally a room.
Everything's just growing, huh?
It's literally a room in a room. It's
pretty cool. We're supposed to be moving out to I got like an 800 square foot shop behind my house. I mean, it's got benches and all kind of shit in it, but we moved in, we used it for storage like most people would have. Yeah. And it's just got a bunch of storage shit in it. And I got to get that shit out of there and get it cleaned up, put up some drywall. And I was going to move everything out there. It's got water, it's got electricity, it's got everything. So
really, that's
be a really nice place to have it at. As a matter of fact, I could even put a car in there. So I was hoping to get a car that I could, maybe it had a bloat engine or something, because I don't want to spend a lot on it. And I was just going to use power supplies to be able to. No, I wouldn't have to have like an engine in there running or anything.
Yeah,
just use power supplies to be able to try different speaker and subwoofer scenarios and stuff that.
A stereo.
Yeah.
That's what my mom calls my Yukons is a stereo.
Everything's a speaker. Everything's a stereo. I'm bad about calling subwoofer speakers. But yeah, I figure I probably can find people would give you a car if it's got a bloat engine half the time. If you just come get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just need something like that, like an old Blazer or some kind of SUV or something that I don't ever want to run again. The base cave. That's right, man. Base dad cave.
I fixed my auto focus.
Yeah, you're not pulsing in and out.
Yeah. Apparently I can go to the camera setting and fix that.
Man, I gotta get you on that one. It seems like that would have been the first thing you tried. Seems like that would have been the first thing you did.
I say, man, my damn webcam doesn't come with shit.
Man, I've totally like redone everything again, and it's kind of sucks because it doesn't suck because the outcome of it will be great, but it's like I just had to stop and relearn how to edit videos. And stop and relearn how to broadcast, and because I've only ever done it one way, and it's like I new computer, new cameras, new this, new that, and all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Right. But things look better. Like I look better tonight, than I normally do. Like everything's real clear, everything looks really good. Background looks good. It's not all fading in and out of existence and all that shit. So,
hey, actually, I'm gonna notice that. Yeah.
Yeah, everything's really clear. It's Just trying to add a little extra touch to everything, include my videos, just where everything's super clear and the colors are right and all that stuff. I'm going down a deep hole of photography. I've been looking at freaking camera lenses all night long. Like the other night, I stayed up all night looking at camera lenses, man. There's so much of that shit out there. Like, I don't know how anybody before the internet could ever figure out what they needed. Like, because some of it's super expensive, man. It's like, like how would you even know that you needed that or what that would do for you? When some of those lenses, some of the lenses are more than the camera, and it's like, golly, why do I need that? And do I need that for YouTube or whatever? No, I don't. But maybe I need it maybe I want to do some, and I've thought of this, of maybe doing some photography around the neighborhood just to bring in some extra dollars or something, do like baby pictures and, like proms or prom pictures, stuff like that. Just something to get some extra money. So,
yeah, definitely. If you have the film or not film, shit, what are we, 1920s? If you have the perfect fucking camera, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? You can make some really good pictures.
What's up, Mr. Savard?
What's up, guy?
Yeah, man. Glad to see you, brother. Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, you got to figure out different hustles, man. In this day and age, guys, 2024, if you don't have 2 or 3 different things you're doing to make money, then I don't know what to say to you. Because that's the way you got to be nowadays, man. You got to have several things going on, be able to pay all the bills and stuff.
I mean, hell, if you need me to marry you, I can do that right now.
You can marry people?
Yeah.
How?
Just sign up for it to get your certificate and everything. Yeah,
that's weird.
I'm ordained minister.
You're an ordained minister.
Yeah,
minister. I need bass. That's fucked off, man. That's cool.
Crazy, right?
I know. Do you perform? Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna. That's a private conversation. Like, will you marry people? Will you marry people to whoever they want to get married to, no matter what? Like, if I want to marry a pig, will you marry me to the pig?
I mean, definitely. I'll let you marry.
That would be hilarious.
I mean, as long as I get paid for it, why not?
That would be hilarious. If somebody's like, I want to marry this lamp, because that's how people
think about. Some people marry their sex dolls, man.
That's
a thing.
That is crazy. I've never heard that. Really?
Yeah, because some people, they don't have a significant other, man. They don't go out and want to say, I want to find someone.
So they marry an inanimate object.
Exactly.
That's great. It's wild.
It's wild.
We need to go down a different road. What's up, guys? What's up? So I did put a topic from the ground up. I did put a. But first off, let me shout out Lucas and Will, man. They're from Savard Audio, and those are some super cool dudes, man. They are like, I've had some good customer service with some audio companies. Don't get me wrong. So, well, first off, let me say this. First off, I was thinking about this before the show. Just because I say somebody is good, or because I say I'm good, or my show's good, does not mean I'm shitting on everybody else. It just means I'm calling that out, right? Right. I think that I thought people knew that, but I've actually heard. I had somebody be like, "You think you're the best because you said you thought you could do better than somebody else," and I'm like, "Man, you should be thinking everybody should think that. You should always feel like you can add something to the situation.
Don't put yourself down."
And anything else too, if I say, hey, Savard is a great company, man, I'm not crapping on anybody else. I'm just talking about them. But I've had some good experiences with some other companies, man, but they really go like out of their way to help people, especially with like acoustics and box designs and stuff like that, man. Like, they're just crazy. They have box designs on their site for every subwoofer they sell.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's something that a lot of places don't do, man. A lot of times you're lucky to even get parameters for that stuff.
I mean, for real.
So, yeah, I know. Or if they're the parameters are even correct. I've seen that too. Sarah and Dusty Hutchison won the Mart's Audio raffle. So I think they just started hanging. Yeah, they started hanging with us like a couple of days ago. So, or maybe it was like maybe last week or the week before. And they won already, so that's great. I did not get that shipped out today, Mr. Dusty. I apologize. You'll learn that I'm kind of like that sometimes. Like, I'll try, but I can't. But it will. I'll get it out to you in the next few days, man. I promise. But congratulations again. Let's see. I've been eyeing those IHQ8 subs. Just not sure if I need 1 or 2 to go with the JP3. 2, man. 2. I would do 2 for sure. I've got a couple of the 6.5s. Matter of fact, we're working on a video kind of right now. I've learned something about myself, man, as I don't want to build any boxes. Like I was supposed to build a box. I built one 6.5-inch box. It had 2 holes for 6.5-inch subwoofers. It was supposed to be for them because I was going to do a review on some subwoofers they gave me, and it was my fault. I didn't check the basket size, and you know that there's some subs that have a smaller basket, some have a bigger basket, and these have the bigger basket. And the hole I cut was, I knew I had a hole saw for a 6.5 because when I do small subwoofers, I use a hole saw. I don't use anything else because why not, right? It's perfect.
Yeah, if you have it, go for it. Yeah,
right. I got me like $10 on Amazon or something, and I'd gotten one for some adapters I made for some door speakers. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, it's just 6.5. Those are 6.5s. Should be good. Right. Didn't read anything or look at anything or anything like that.
Basket,
I built the whole box, got the hole, everything, stuck it in there. A magnet wouldn't even fit through the hole. I'm like, the motor, because them things got some big motors on the back of them, and it wouldn't even fit through the hole. And so I ended up putting. No, they're just got big ass booties on them, but big booties on them. But I had some Genius Audio subwoofer, some 6.5s that did fit in there. And they're beefy subwoofers too, but they don't have like the you know how a lot of subwoofers have like a rubber bumper around the magnet. The Savard ones have that, but the Geniuses didn't. And the Genius Audio ones are super cheap, guys. They're like $40 at Amazon. I'll try to put up a link or something at some point for them if you want to get them. And they sound okay. I mean, they're definitely not in the same class as the Savard ones. But if you're on a really tight, super tight budget, then they may work for you. And they sounded actually pretty decent for what they were. I mean, anytime I hear 6.5, they always surprise me. Like I'm always like, I can't believe that made that kind of bass, right? But the Savard ones, man, are like I'm anxious to hear them. So anyway, I built that. But I'm making a kind of a long story, really long anyway, by being all over the place. But I did that and I built it and it was fine. But, of course, that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be reviewing Savard subwoofer. So I'm like, all right, well, I got enough wood left to build a box. And, man, I just let it get cold. I don't have anywhere inside to be cutting wood where it's warm or anything. And I just let it get cold and kept saying I was going to do it and didn't do it. And finally, I just told them, I was like, man, look, I'm not going to build this box. I gotta get a box. Y'all gotta send me a box or something because I'm not doing this. And I don't mean to sound like that, man. I just don't have any desire to do it. I just don't. I don't want to do it. I'm not good at it. It's something that's a stretch for me. Half the time the shit don't even line up or match, and I got to do a bunch of other crap. And I got so many other things to do. But worked it out. I got a box coming for them. And hopefully it'll be here soon, and we'll get to see them. So I'm interested. I'm interested to see what they do. I am. What's up, Kick D?
I would definitely like to see it. If you're gonna do a
look at what Kick D sent me. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That's a present. You send somebody something with their logo on it, not yours.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I've got other stuff. Other people. Huh? It's a cup. It's a cup. It's got stuff in it, so I don't want to turn it around. But it's got my name on it. It's got my logo and shit on it. And I mean, this day and age, this you can get stuff like that. But I don't buy shit like that because I don't make a lot of money. So anyway, like I said, I've had people send me tons of things, man. They're like, oh, here's a gift, but it's always got their shit written on it. And no offense, man, but you're kind of like. If I use that while I'm on the air, then I'm advertising your brand, which is fine, except for you didn't pay me to do that. So all right. If I'm going to advertise something, it's going to be my stuff. So, or something that I want to advertise, I don't want to just, make base that into a giant billboard. So what I'm getting at is I don't know why I'm being so crazy today, but Kick D, I really appreciate this, man. It meant a lot because you could have sent me something with your stuff on it or something like that, but you were thoughtful enough to say, hey, I'm gonna make him something that he wants, and just to show my appreciation. And man, the appreciation is mutual, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Sorry. And I'm sorry. I knew you were talking about those subwoofers, and I kind of cut you off.
Oh no, man. I was just saying I would like to see him perform.
Yeah, me too.
Most definitely.
Me too. I'm always like intrigued by 6.5s.
Yeah, most definitely.
I've always said that if I had realized that they can do some of the stuff I've seen them do, that I don't know that I would have done the blow through in my truck. I may have just, put like 26.5s in the back of it or something.
Yeah.
Stuart Holloway hit us up. Stuart Holloway. Oh, see, yeah, because he's wanting those 8s. Yeah, but Stuart, don't forget now. Don't let them get you. You got to use the code BASEDAD 5 off so you can save 5%, $5, 5%, 5 pesos, 5 something. You save something. So I got you 2. I need base. Send me your logo.
I got you. I can do
that. It's a rainbow. That's his
I
logo.
do have a question for you, and this is how you feel about it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, for example, if you say, "Hey, man, I want to do a video for your product," do you expect to how can I put it? Do you expect to send it back?
No, never. I've only had that come up once with one company.
Okay,
and they dealt with it after the fact. But I mean, there are some things I would send back. It depends on what it is. Like, I mean, if Kicker sent me a new Warhorse from what they that they haven't released yet, I understand that they'd want that back. But we'd have to have something, there's something, like usually what a company does is if they want something back, because they'll say, hey, we're going to give you like this thing and the other thing or something. And then this thing, like say they give you 3 different subwoofers to kind of showcase. They'd say, well, hey, you can keep this one, give this one away. This one we need back.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And it's usually stuff like that though, like something that's not out yet or something that's, really costly.
People think that it's going to be free. And
well, it's not free. Anything that's
not
anything
free,
you get. Right. Oh, I'm just going to say that anything you get, whether you're doing like YouTube reviews or, you're making commercial, I don't know what you're doing, whatever you're doing for that company, if you're doing marketing, whatever, when they give you product, that's not free product, man. It is. And one thing is, if you're doing that kind of work, you should be at the point where you don't need that kind of product. You don't need free shit. Like that's not what you're looking for. The whole point of it is to showcase it on a video so people will see it. And, with what I do, it's like, we're going to test it, see if it works. And if it does, and it works well, and I'm good enough at making the video, then it will help their sales, and it continue to help their sales forever because it'll always be there. And when somebody goes to search that, they'll see that positive feedback from that video. And it'll help their brand. Of course there's other things too, you just making a video is not going to just make it sell 1 million things or whatever, but that's the thought process. So like what I'm saying is if you're doing that kind of work, whether it's marketing or doing YouTube videos or whatever, you shouldn't be looking for free shit anyway, because they're, like you're looking to make videos.
You're trying to help promote their company. And
I don't need free amps. I've got amplifiers everywhere, but don't get me wrong. I mean, I usually take them and sell them or give them away, or, I've given a lot of stuff away. I've sold a lot of stuff, raffled some stuff off, whatever I need to do with it. But you spent money to make that video. So, I mean, that's usually the way it works. But if a company told you, I don't do that. Number one is if they want it back, they can just keep it to begin with. I'm not going to take my time and stuff and do that because there's the YouTubers who, of course, they have way more of an audience than I do. And I don't blame them. And I'm not at that point where I feel like I can do this, but there's YouTubers and that, the product has nothing to do with whether they'll do a video for you or not. Like they want money, whatever their fee is or whatever is what they want. And that's not a thing like pay me and I'll give you a good review. It's like pay me and I'll give you a review.
Exactly.
Because I'm doing what I want to do. And if you want me to stop doing what I want to do, then to look at your thing, then you gotta come up with some money. And at first I thought it was a little harsh, but then I started thinking about it. And I was like, man, I mean, these companies had to pay for commercials in the past. They had to pay for magazine ads, they had to pay stuff, and I guarantee you it was a lot more than any of these people are charging. So
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly what
really,
my woman said. Exactly what
yeah,
you just said is that these
I'm not
people had to pay for that promotion to get their advertisements out there. And
right.
when
And
we're
if you ask
sitting
me,
here
a
saying,
YouTube
hey,
video actually sells probably more because it's directed right at the people who would buy it. Because all right, there's 30 people in here watching, but the thing about that is all 30 of those people are base heads. So you've got commercial that's aimed right at the audience that it's
right,
for. And before, you used to have to put out commercials and just kind of guess, like hope that people would see them that were interested in that stuff and stuff like that. But I mean, you go to a YouTuber, it's got a couple thousand subscribers and put out a stubble for commercial. I mean, that's you got 2,000 potential customers right there.
yeah,
That's a lot of people, and then
yeah,
that's a lot of selling that can happen. So I don't think about sales or anything when I do it. The only reason I put up affiliate links is it's like if you see my video and you think if that made you want to buy it, then yeah, help me out, man. Put in my
yeah.
link. But I don't care if you don't buy it. I don't care. Whatever. It's not. I don't work for them. I usually try to get them to give away stuff and do stuff for people and things like that. I mean, I want them to be successful, but
Exactly, yeah.
But if a company asks, and I know I gave you again a very long answer for a short question,
It's
but
totally fine because the thing is that I feel the same exact way. I feel that if I'm going to put all my hard work into making this video, I should be able to get something out of it. And if I just send it right back, I'm not getting nothing.
well, you got to live. I mean, you got to live.
I got,
Okay?
and you already know YouTube does not pay us like we thought they would. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
And
I
then
never
it's like
thought
we
they
have
would.
to come up with something.
You do. You have to come up with something, and people have to remember that if you have a small amount of viewers or a small amount of subscribers in car audio, let's keep it 100. All right. If you're in car audio, man, there is not a lot of viewers. Look how long it's taken Steve Mead to get to 1 million viewers, like what, 10, 15 years or something like that. There's a good 200,000 potential viewers, 200 to 400,000 potential viewers. And that's probably the biggest you're ever going to get. I don't care how good you are at it.
Yeah.
So if you're just wanting to be in car audio and that's all you want to do, then, and that's a lot for car audio, but it's not a lot in the terms of like the YouTube world. So, you've got to figure out other ways to make money. Like we're fixing to start putting small commercials in our video, not commercials, but you ever watch YouTube video where the guy stops and he's like, "Oh, look at blah blah blah," or "Look at this," or "Look at that," for like a second or something like that. I'm fixing to start doing that because I mean they pay you for that, and only for things I like, but it's just a couple minutes or whatever. I'll stop and be like, "Hey, have you looked at this kind of like Mint Mobile is one of them? Mint Mobile. All right, have you ever looked at Mint Mobile and use that or whatever?" And they'll pay us for that. And you got to consider that I can do that, and you may not like it. And I don't blame you. I don't really like commercials either. I don't care for them, but at least that's my commercial, and I'm getting paid for it. And if you support me, then that should be cool for you. If I don't do that, if I do that, then I don't have to have the monetization on from YouTube. So that means that's the only commercial you're going to hear, and it's actually benefiting me. Or we can let YouTube put 500 commercials in there, and they won't help me because they don't pay me anything for those commercials unless you click on that crap. And there you go. So if you can just fast forward past the 60 seconds that I'm talking about whoever, then just do that, and let me do me. So anyway, we're way out of car audio. I would just say, man, if like if Massive Audio said, "Hey, we got to have something back," I would do that. They've sent me a lot of stuff and done a lot of stuff for me and stuff like that. I would do that. If Savard said, "Hey, we've got this new thing that's coming out, can you show it to people, but we need it back?" I would do it like once. Like I mean, it can't be every time, but we've already got a relationship and things have been good. I can do that one time. But
if Massive sends me something, it's mine. I'm keeping this shit.
Again, though, I mean, my point is we've already had like a lot of things. They've already sent me a lot of stuff. We've already done a lot of things, so I don't mind doing that. So it's just like life, man.
Yeah, it's
people,
like a
people who do stuff for you. Like, yeah, you may do them a favor or whatever, but
it's like a partnership, man. It's that's kind of like how it could be. Like if they already helping you out,
right, so
getting your shit together.
Like Down for Sound. Down for Sound is the only company that will not just, give stuff, or at least to me, out for $0. And because I want to really be really, like, I don't ever want to say like free, because it is not free. There's nothing free about, you know, they're just giving you a product to review, and they're saying, hey, because we know it takes time and money and everything, you can keep it, which they should. They should. That absolutely shouldn't even be a question. To me, if they have something they do want back, they should send you something else as well that you can keep.
Exactly.
But like Down for Sound, they give me a very big discount on things that where if I need to resell them, I could probably sell them for more than I paid for them. So
yeah.
Anything that I review, they'll give me a pretty good discount on. But every other company, man, they just give it. And you got to remember, man, a lot of these companies, man, that they have tons and tons and tons and tons. They sell this stuff in other countries and things like that. I mean, they just have huge warehouses, and
exactly
for 1 amp, to give out 1 amp to get a review, like I said, it lasts till the end of time. Then to me, that's not a big deal. But and they don't think so either. Like this camera that I've got, this camera, I know I saw 20 different videos where they had given cameras out to people, and these are like $500 cameras. And
was it the
OBSBot,
is it like a thing that turns around like the AI?
Yeah, it looks like a little robot thing or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I've been looking at those.
They're cool little cameras. But my point is that they know that for them to sell them, they're going to have to get at some influencers, and to do that, they've got to give some away. Yeah. And honestly, for a big ass company, man, if they only had to give away 20 to, I bought one because I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I know other people have bought them because they saw that, so it's working. I think it's a small price to pay to get some advertising. I know commercials, man, are super duper expensive, and they don't hit as well as YouTube commercials do. Back to car audio though. Savard, like they're a great company. Somebody I enjoy dealing with. Small company, they care about you, and well, I mean, I can't say they care about you. They don't know you, but they care. I mean, they seem to care about their customers.
They care about you.
Yeah, they care about you. They'll tuck you in at night.
They give you smooches.
They seem to also care about what their reputation is. They could have come out with amps or a bunch of other stuff a long time ago. They didn't. They just want to. It seems like they just want to kind of stick with what they're good at making and not stretch themselves too thin. And I can appreciate that actually a lot, because some companies just take on too much at once, and they don't do well by any of it. So appreciate that, guys. And they're cool. Like, look, you see them in here at the live stream supporting me. Same way I support them. So I appreciate that too.
Most definitely.
For sure. I think the topic I put on here for today was how to start your system. But I know most of the guys that actually watch probably already have a system and probably can answer these questions themselves. But like, how would you start? Like, how do you need to start if you're gonna build a system? Like, all right, you've decided that you like bass and you got a new car, but you don't have anything in it yet, and you don't know what you should do yet. If you should buy an amp or some speakers, or just get some wires on the fly, or if you should how do you go? How do you go from there? So I don't know if anybody has any questions about any of that stuff like that. What's up, Steve Rogers?
Yeah, it's funny. It's just that you said that. Steve Rogers. It's funny that you said that, because it's like normally I always want to start with my head unit. I don't know why.
The way it usually goes for a lot of guys is that they start with their head unit, and then maybe they grab a small amp and some subwoofers, and then that turns into like, well, let me get a bigger amp, and man, I wish I had some bigger subwoofers, and then oh shit, I got to redo my wiring, and then right, and now my head unit doesn't sound that good anymore, so let me look at another one, and you just keep going. So if you're gonna start the right way, though, you would think. This is just my advice, man. This is all just entertainment. Don't come at me about nothing dumb. I don't know why I even say that, because they're going to if they want to. But right, the thing I would start with is first you got to decide what you want. Like, what do you want? Do you just want some good sounding tunes? Do you want to shake the concrete? Do you want to be kind of in between SPL and sound quality, or, you know, what do you want? What do you want? Because, you know, you can accomplish a lot of different things. And even though I didn't do it this way, I should have. I am doing it this way now, but you know, you got to know if you think you're going to run 10,000 watts or whatever, then you got to start with the wiring. I mean, that's your first place to go is your wiring and your electrical. Like you get the right shit the first time. That'll support whatever you think you're going to put in there. Ever. Right? Ever.
Get the right electrical.
Exactly. Get the right
Especially
thing.
if you're in a really high humidity area.
Right. And be prepared to pay for it, man. I mean, that is a huge cost of building a system is copper. Copper and batteries and you know, stuff like that. Let's see if anybody has any questions towards any of that stuff. I think it's cool to see a company showing people supporting your live video. That's huge, respectful. Oh yeah, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like that's the kind of guys they are, man. They you know, pop in here and say something and watch it. And Will actually sat down and did a interview with me. And I swear to God, I've got so many interviews that I'm trying to get through them, man. And I've got a couple that I'm into editing right now. And that's another thing. I think a lot of people see, and I've said this before, but I also know that everybody's not always watching every time I say something. So sometimes if you heard it before, then just ignore it. And if you haven't, then, you know, listen. But sorry, I think I'm getting a sinus infection. But even though my videos or I Need Bases or whoever's video is only 15 minutes long, it did not take 15 minutes to make. Like it, you know, they can take months, especially those interviews, man. Like, you know, it takes us 2 hours to film it, and then it may take me 2 steady weeks of editing that just to get the camera angles right. Because I want it to look like we're in the same room, like it's switching back and forth between us and stuff like that. I don't want to put out some funky old interview, man. That ain't nobody gonna watch. You know, that looks like I filmed it on my freaking kid's tablet or whatever. I want it to look good. And that's part of my style is to make sure it looks good. So I try to spend some time editing it. I'd hate to have somebody turn off one of my videos just because it sounded bad or looked bad.
And you know, that's like another thing too, is because it's like, you know, it like you said, it takes a while to get through your shit. Not to mention, I can only tell you how many like edits I have had to do, or I had to scrap a video because I messed up a single word, or you know, it's so much that you have to worry about. And that's another thing. I really kind of want to do my memberships as bloopers as well. Like, because that's some shit you like, oh wow, I can't believe you just said stupid butter or some shit. I don't know.
No, that's just funny, man. I mean, whatever works for you. Yeah, whatever works for you, man. I mean, that's funny to me. Yeah, the videos take a while, man. I mean, it's, you know, it's not as easy as you think to say a scripted line, especially when, you know, you're just seeing the camera or the angle of the camera is, but there's like 15 lights behind, at least for me, there's like lights behind it. You know, I may have 2 or 3 cameras pointed at me at once. And it's like, I can look up sometimes and be like, what? Why is all this stuff looking at me? Wait, what do we say? What are we saying here? First, you got to make sure you can even install an amp without a fix. I'm not sure what that means, Italian. What do you mean a fix? Oh, you mean like oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, I do. No, I know it did come across a little weird, but I know what you mean. Without like nowadays cars, man, a lot of them you can't, and that was going to be my next thing. Is like you can't, you know, some cars you really don't need to change the head unit on anymore, and you don't, you know, they may have the indoor speakers may have a amp on them already and stuff like that. So you've got to take that stuff into account if you've got a newer car, and really the people that got to take into account. Me and my wife were talking about if you have a car that's like between 2009 and 2015, kind of like when the head units became an integral part of the car, but they didn't have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in a lot of the head units yet. It's like you can't really take your radio out, but you don't have the things you need. And the like the newer cars, at least, you know, hey, if you're gonna keep the factory radio, you've got Apple CarPlay, you've got the UI you want or whatever, and it does all that stuff already. So, you know, you just got to figure out how to tap into the system. But for those people that were in that spot where they started having this complicated, you know, radios, but they didn't quite have the software in them. You know, I wish a lot of them would go back and figure out some kind of way to add that stuff to those cars, man, because it almost makes them, you know, unbearable. My wife got a new to her car. Thank the Lord, and thank you from for Uncle Dave's car lot down in Bartlett. If you are looking for a car, I know tax time's coming up. If you're looking for a car, man, give them a shout. They got a lot of great cash deals, Uncle Dave's. And all of them are checked and everything like that. The car's been great. It hasn't broken down. It hasn't had any problems. Not even anything. It's like a new car, but it's got an old stereo in it, and it's like a 2013, and it's very integrated into the car. But it doesn't. There's no navigation. There's no, way to play iTunes or anything through there except through Bluetooth or something like that. It's just kind of a hassle. It's not what we're used to, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do to fix it. So Savard's always watching. The big brother. I have more copper in my car than it's worth. I know that's right, man. All right. Got the coof. What the fuck? I made an unboxing video of the Down for Sound bass knob. It took me about an hour. Still wasn't perfect. That's on my cell phone. So yeah, it's definitely time consuming. What's even more time consuming, I appreciate your perspective on that, Ephraim. And check him out. He's new, he's starting, but he's a cool dude. One thing that you don't think about is this, like having to get all the cameras and all the stuff set up before. Like, I need to have a microphone on if I want to. I don't need to, but if I want it to be the quality I want, then I need to have one on. So I have to make sure I have microphones. I got to make sure all the cameras, batteries are charged up. There's power, electrical, whatever, tripods, all this stuff. And that's not a complaint. I love doing it, but it does make, like, if I'm going to go out there and change my battery or something, it takes something that was going to take 30 minutes and turns it into a 4-hour ordeal. And it's just crazy. Sometimes it makes me not even want to do it. And I used to would skip filming stuff, and I've learned not to do that, but I would, because I'd be like, man, I just don't want to do all that stuff. I just want to go do the thing I want to do.
Especially if you drop the 10mm socket and you're like, fuck. I ain't doing this damn video.
That's the thing too. Like, that's the thing too. Like, when you do something, do you want to show people like where you made a mistake? Maybe the mistake will teach them a lesson, but maybe it's a mistake, you don't need to show. And you got to make those kind of decisions too about stuff. Back and forth, lurking as usual. If you see me looking like this, it's because I'm looking around the camera. Trying to get a few rounds of Warzone in with my girls. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Always spending much time. Matter of fact, don't watch me. Spend time with the girls.
Yeah, enjoy your family.
Yeah, I don't want you watching me, man. Spend time with the family. Either of us ever seen a Crown Victoria with 612s in the trunk? I'm leaning in that direction. I can't say honestly if I have. I don't recall seeing one. No, I've seen some Crown Vics and some Impalas with a lot of stuff in them, and they got trunks for days for sure.
Never seen 12s like that though.
I can't say that I have.
Maybe man, go for it. 6.5 or 8s.
Go for it, man. I mean, I've seen a lot of 15s. A lot of people have 15s down here in Memphis. The problem with a lot of people in Memphis is they don't know how to freaking install anything. So
they just throw it in there and be like, what
it's
up,
just
man?
in there. All right.
It's in there, man.
And it's not bolted in, just the wires are holding it still. Every time they hit a bump, something stops playing.
Hey man, get my toggle switch back. That's how I turn my shit on. I remember those days, man. I used to have a toggle switch on my fucking shit.
Video editing, just like pimping, it ain't easy. Well, I know that's right. Let's see. I guess I already saw that one for some reason. There we go. Let's see. A lot of cars have faulty infotainment systems, such as newer Hondas. My wife's 2021 infotainment control module is burnt out. I have issues with connectors. I'd rather have a basic radio on point. I'd always rather have a basic radio. And when I mean a basic radio, I just mean one that isn't connected to my car's engine, and computer and stuff. Like, I mean, it can be a complicated radio, but just let it be its own thing.
Right.
Like,
I don't have to blend in with everything.
Right. I'd rather almost have two screens. Like, let the car have a screen and let my radio be your radio. That way I can do what the hell I want to with it.
Your radio massages your seat. It's like, come on, man. I don't even know that shit.
They started doing like where the alert sounds and stuff would come through the radio. And after they did that, it was like, oh, free game. Let's do all kinds of shit. Let's do everything with the radio. So it's all good though. We can get by it, but it costs money, and that's the thing. Like, to get my wife a new radio, like we do the Toto radios or whatever. Normally, like, you get one for $150, $200. The ones we're looking at are $1,000 to replace hers, because they have to be, I mean, I could do it. I could just do something custom, but I'd really rather just buy it done already. It's already in the thing and all that stuff. So anyway, 21 RDX word. Just cram my 815s in my Ford Ranger. You can get 612s in that Crown Vic. Oh, I have no doubt in my mind that you can't get 612s in there. I'm thinking you could probably get 615s in there.
Yeah.
I just started using USB drives so much better than Bluetooth. Man, I can't stand Bluetooth. It's got some really good things about it, but it's got some really bad negatives too.
You can tell like the difference if you was to do a Bluetooth song compared to a
it doesn't sound
USB,
the same.
it's lower. It's not even like
it
it's
doesn't
there,
sound the same.
You know?
There's connection problems a lot. And, I'm not here to debate Android and Apple, but I've got some Android devices and they don't find shit as well as my Apple devices, and they don't find shit well either. But one of them finds it a little bit better than the other. And it's just a lot of I don't care for YouTube, man, or YouTube. I don't care for sorry, didn't mean it. YouTube, don't hurt me. Don't shut my show down. I don't care for Bluetooth. Where did I get YouTube from? Don't care for Bluetooth much.
He has a sinus infection. Leave him alone. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
The only time I like it is like for headphones and stuff. Other than that, that's kind of janky, honestly. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's 400 now. There's definitely room. I mean, if a bass head has room,
put it on the ceiling.
Yeah, man, that's stupid. That is so stupid. Like, why do they put your damn HVAC controls in the radio?
It's fucking
I mean, I get it. It looks cool. They could do it just by if they would just put a RCA panel in the back, or better yet, let's put an optical output in the back so you can add shit to it. Then that'd be great, but they don't do that. You know? Actually, that's not a bad idea, man. If they would just put a freaking like relay box that you could open that would allow you to tap, put amps and stuff into the radio, that'd be great. They don't do that though. Otherwise, I was going to get that Dopa Toto. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, that's my problem too, man. Hey, let me tell you all this too. Bass Daddies is not going to be around anymore. I'm not that. Nobody's been buying anything there from there anyway, but maybe you guys were thinking about it or whatever. We're changing it over to Bass Mom's car audio supply shop, and we're not going to even do any kind of amps or radios or anything. We just said the only things that we were selling really well were like the lugs, the Jack 35 lugs, and like anything that was like wires or install kits or anything like that. So that's all we're going to do from now on. It's just like install kits and like the dual connectors and ground block, like D blocks and stuff like that. And I don't really want to have my name on it because obviously I'm reviewing stuff and I really don't have a lot to do with it anyway. So it's just going to be Bass Mom's audio supply. So when I have a URL, I'm going to be working on it this week as well. So as soon as I have a URL, I'll let you know, but you cannot order anything from Bass Dads right now. It is closed down. And when it comes back up, I'll let y'all know. And I think once it comes back up, you guys will want to use it because I think I've really kind of felt what people are looking for and the kind of stuff they want to get from a vendor like me and my wife. And there's a lot of things in there that I haven't seen anybody else have or whatever. And they're on the budget side, of course, which is really cool. So a lot of connectors, heat shrinks, lugs, and like copper ends for wires and squeezy tools and turny tools and things like that, and electrical tools. So just wanted to say that so you guys know. You don't go to my site and think that I didn't pay the electric bill or something.
But hey, man, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. This dude ain't paid his bill. Let's see. I'm told USB connection sounds the best. I'm guessing better than aux. Bluetooth and even better CD quality. Yeah, I mean, of course, it depends on the file that you're playing, but yeah, if it's stored right and a high quality file, then I would say that absolutely a USB is probably going to be your best. Or if your radio has Apple CarPlay, that would be the same. That would be the same. If it's wired Apple CarPlay, I think Bluetooth Apple CarPlay also does not sound as good. So those are things to think about, to consider. I had somebody the last week, I think I said this on some show or something a while back, but somebody just a couple weeks ago, they're a nice person and everything. They had bought, can y'all hear my cat?
I thought I heard something.
He's pissed off or something. I guess he was outside. He was going nuts for a second there. Somebody had asked me, they'd bought a radio, and it was like, it wasn't a Toto. It was another like Chinese, like, infotainment radio, but one of those really cheap ones, like one of those that you look at Amazon, you're like, I wonder if that really works. And the answer is no. And they had gotten it for like $20 or whatever. And they called me or called a friend up, and the friend knew me, and they put us in touch and stuff. And they're like, we want to put this in our 2015 Toyota or whatever. And I'm like, why? Like, why? Just leave the radio in there. That's in there. But all right, if we do this is what's going to cost. And I started naming off, like, here, you're gonna need $500 just to get the harnesses and the stuff to convert it so it'll work and this and that. And they were done right then. They're like, we only paid $20 for the radio. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's why a lot of people, that's why you don't see a lot of cars like this with aftermarket radios in them.
I got one in my 97 Ford Explorer right now, man. It's one of those cheap ones, just to get back and forth to work and shit, you know what I'm saying? And you can hear the shut off every damn time you turn it off. It's just horrible, man.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, I'm talking about like the real cheap shit.
Oh yeah, when I got my truck, it was during the COVID stuff where they didn't have any chips,
Yeah.
And I couldn't find any radios. Like, I literally could not find any radios. There's none on Facebook. There's none on eBay. Nothing. The only radios that were around were like Planet Audio, or like Best Buy had one Planet Audio radio, and then like AutoZone had a Boss radio or something. And I bought that Boss radio at AutoZone for $200, and I was like, it had Apple CarPlay. I'm like, well, it's got CarPlay and stuff. Maybe it'll be okay. It was like 2 weeks, man. I was back at AutoZone taking that shit back. Talking about, oh man, it didn't sound good. I have a 2005 Ford F-150, so I don't really have to deal with any of that computer stuff, and I love it, man. It doesn't do anything. I can take the radio out and do anything I want, and all that stuff. I don't have to deal with any of that crap like she does, or like some of y'all do. But that's something to consider, man. So when you go to put your system in, like, how are you going to get into the stereo system to feed your amps a signal? And that's something to consider. If you need to change the radio, if you have a newer car, like, can you, or if you can, you always can do anything, but like, what's that going to cost, and what's going to be involved and stuff like that. So,
right.
It'll work, but it'll sound like crap. A lot of times that is right, man. What's popping, man?
What's going on?
See, did you guys see that Android radio that DIY Justin did a review on? Was it in a Toto? When was it? Because he's done a few, man. I know he did some of Toto ones, and he did another one that was called, it had a real weird name, but it wasn't bad. It worked out pretty good. He's actually been on the show. He's actually been on the show before a couple of times. He's another person I have an interview with that I haven't put out. Like everybody, just anybody, everybody.
Like
everybody's in car audio I've interviewed. I'm just like, I just want to keep these for me. Like, y'all can have them.
These are mine.
I'll watch them before I lay down. I did buy a Boss.
I bought a Boss,
dude.
too.
You got to understand though, that's all there was. Like, I'm serious, man. There was nothing else during that time. It was like 2021. There were no radios, like none.
I mean, yeah, that's what I said. I bought me one.
Yes, I did watch that one, man. I did. That wasn't a bad radio either. Let's say, no, it won't sound like crap if you do it correctly. You completely bypass your factory head unit with a Bluetooth DSP. I have a Bluetooth DSP, and I think it sounds like shit. So I don't think Bluetooth is good. I mean, I made that clear. I don't like it. Now, if you like it, then that's fine. It's subjective. It's a subjective thing. You can like it all you want, but I don't. I don't like Bluetooth. I don't think it sounds good. And it can't sound as good as a USB because it doesn't have as many bits. Well, it's not your show, so you know. Oh man, let's say 10.1 dual touch screen. That was another one. It wasn't much different than that one. Do you like it, Craig? I'm not doing that.
I still haven't figured out my Toto. I installed it.
those there's one other one, man, that is God, I can't remember the name of it. Sorry, old man moment. But that one, and there's one other brand that I've seen that are actually pretty decent out of China. And then, man, most of those Android knockoff ones are just trash. Sounds pretty good. Now I will say this: the Boss didn't sound very bad, man. It didn't sound bad at all. It just didn't look good, and the functions were real crappy. Like, it didn't have good animation.
Mine was kind of sketchy. Mine was sketchy. I hit the button and it'll come out, and then it'll just go back in, and it's like, wait a minute, stay out.
I'm gonna tell you right now, in this year and age, anything that pops in and out motorized is probably not.
I know, it sucks.
That was like
I really
90
hate
shit.
it.
That was like 90 stuff, man. I have the DDX 10.5 DS18 and the DSP built in legit. I think DS18 makes some okay head units too. I saw another one that, who was it? This was on Woot.com, man. And it was a JBL. I think it was JBL or Infinity. It was one of those two that they had made. It was an Android head unit. It looked pretty cool too. They're getting better at them. I mean, all that stuff's getting cheaper and better and stuff like that. A lot of them I see the problem with too is like the outputs. They don't have like all the outputs and stuff like that. I've just dealt with the Ototos, man. I feel good about them. They're cheap. You literally can get one for like $120 that will, as far as I'm concerned, it's blown away any radio, any prime radio, any, like Pioneer or Kenwood or any of those guys. Like, I've never seen any of that stuff in that price range that was any good. I've never seen it in that price range to begin with. Like, not with a dual DIN and a 7-inch screen. So the max speeding rods head unit, yeah, that was it, man. That's the one that DIY car audio guy did. It's pretty nice for the price point, but they have like weird sizing, so the fitment's kind of odd. You have to trim and install. That's been my problem with a lot of Chinese stuff, like subwoofers and speakers and a lot of other things. They sent me some wire. I wish I knew where it was, man. And they said this shit was 0 gauge. I think I threw in that box, but I mean, it looked like 4 gauge, and I'm like, there's no way this is 0 gauge wire. Y'all said this was premium, and then they kept bugging me, talking about, are you gonna buy some? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna buy any ever.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's the thing with like selling your own shit, man. Like, you gotta get all these samples and crap, especially from China. It's like you go through all this hell, and they don't want to give you nothing. They want you to pay for everything. They don't want to give you a sample to save your life. They didn't even want to give me the wire. They sent the wire, and I was like, no, I can't sell that. They're like, we don't understand. Why can't you? It's because nobody will buy it.
Does it smell like lemons?
That's crazy. Not sure how the F7 Wii uses Bluetooth or wireless when the phone is on CarPlay. I don't know either. Like, wireless CarPlay is, when they first came out with CarPlay, I was surprised it wasn't wireless. But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, okay, I understand. And then they came out with it wireless. So I'm not real sure how it works either. But, I mean, obviously they're transferring the information over Bluetooth, and it's got to be like some kind of compressed information for it to work, because they couldn't do it at first, and now they can do it. So I would, we need to talk to somebody who knows. Maybe I'll see if I can't find somebody who deals in that kind of computer technology, and see if we can't drill them about it. But my mindset would be that it's got to be some kind of compressed file format, because they used to couldn't do it. Now they can do it. So that told me that was a problem, or they would have done it to begin with. And it's over Bluetooth, anyway. So that can only handle so much. It's got to be some kind of compressed format, which I don't like my music compressed. I don't like it compressed. I don't like it changed. Yeah, great unit. Yeah, I agree with that. Sounds pretty good to me. It does sound good. I will say that, man. And when I say it doesn't sound as good, that's what I mean. It just doesn't sound as good. Like, I definitely think Bluetooth sounds okay. Like it's good enough to play stuff on. But I mean, what you need to do is like listen to your favorite song, like, you know, balls out as loud as you can, and then immediately listen to it with a USB drive, or listen to it, you know, right behind each other with a plugged in phone, and you can't hear the difference. And if you can't, then you might want to go get your ears cleaned. Man, I would agree that they're probably good for most people, you know, but we're not. I'm not most people when it comes to the way shit sounds. Like, I want shit to sound good, you know, and I'm not mad at anybody for thinks a Boss head unit sounds good.
And that's another thing. Like, we're not dogging anybody that's running Boss. Hell, we both run Boss. We just didn't like it, you know, and it's.
Of course, I tried anything that was cheaper.
Person.
I tried anything that was cheaper. You know, if it saves me $1, then I want to try it. That's why I test a lot of those Amazon amps and stuff like that, because I want them to work. They just traditionally don't. Yeah. You know, most of them just don't, man. And Boss is a company that's just fucked me over too many times, man. They just lied to me too many times. It's kind of like some of these other, you know, companies that people keep trying because they're cheap, and I get that, man. They're budget, you know, and sometimes they come out with some stuff that's okay. They do, but you know, when you start off lying, number one, and you're lying about like max power ratings, and you're lying about
4,000.
Yeah, you're lying about touch screens and this and that, and stuff, you know, just whatever, just lying about stuff. And man, that's for me, that's hard to get over. And I know a lot of people are just like, oh, they're just lying, whatever, you know, it's a company. But I take it for more than that, man. I take it as a, you know, you want me to spend my money that I worked for on your stuff. And if you can't even be honest, you know, in that transaction, then I'm good. And that's the way I feel. Now, if you don't feel that way, that's fine. That's good. You know, you don't have to. You know, if you want to spend your money with people that are lying to you, you have the right to do that. But I don't. And I think that it's a really good sign that they're probably not going to do what you want it to do, you know. And they probably won't, you know, if something goes wrong, they probably won't fix that either.
Oh, yeah. Not to mention, guys, Rigo has left the country. You're not going to get your stuff until next year. If you want
to try to get us killed, ain't you?
No, playing. He did say he got it all about to get shipped out, guys. So keep an eye out on it. Get that face off your face. What are you doing?
What? Oh,
so get that face up.
Nah, there's some kind of it looked like you're frozen for a second, and then some kind of like fruit fly or something was crawling on me and freaked me out. Like one of those little gnat bugs or something.
I'm surprised those bitches ain't dead yet. Damn, it's cold as hell.
Man, we live in the like woods, like literally like in the woods, and like when it gets cold, everything comes in here. Everything.
Yeah.
So, and I think my internet may be getting a little weird because it's raining right now. So anyway, I've noticed my Bluetooth connections on multiple different head units. There's always background noise and delays from the phone sound input. I definitely agree. Bluetooth is not that great, man. I agree with you 100%. What you're hearing is what I'm hearing. Now, maybe everybody else ain't hearing that, but I do. And I don't like having to wait for my phone to connect. I don't, you know, I get in the car and I got to wait for the shit to turn on and connect and all that crap. The Toto has probably actually been one of the fastest radios to have all that. And then my wife's car, as long as you're not gone long, like if you go into the store and they come right back out like in 10 minutes, and it's really quick. But most of them, man, it takes a long time for them to connect. And like you said, there's noise and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Bluetooth is only good if you're just out there in the garage, you want to connect something. You know, just listen.
Man, I like it on my headphones. It's convenient, man, but I don't believe I guess what I'm saying is I believe that it'll be better. I'm hoping it'll be better, or something better will come along. Nope. Didn't mean to click on that. Let's see. You should have gotten sold as 4 gauge. Yeah, except for they were charging 0 gauge money for it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Trap House, thank you, man. Hey, look at Trap House, man. He gave us $2. You know why? Because he knows this shit costs us money.
Hell yes.
Man, if you don't support either one of our channels or this show is amazing. We appreciate everyone who does it or has done it. sharing is always one of the best ways you can support us, or by hitting the like button. But, you know, it does cost some dollars to make this happen. If you feel like you are blessed and have a little extra to spare, then you can become a member of either one of our channels, or you can do a super chat. And we take those super chats, which I need. I'm sorry, Josh. I'm gonna say this publicly because I guess it's just Christmas and all that stuff. I've not yet set up our advertising, but I will get on it this week now that all those holidays have passed and everything. And we'll hopefully start having some advertisements this week or next week and stuff. So apologize for that. I'm sure it's understandable though, just with Christmas and New Year's and family and all that stuff.
We gotta get through the hard shit.
Yeah, everything is slow that time of year.
Birthday is this month.
Oh man, that makes me worse. Like I've got that too. Like I've my sister, my dad's he passed away a while back, but then my dad, my sister, and my wife all are December birthdays. So it's like I got all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Christmas and the New Year's stuff. And if you can, I don't care if I get anything. It's just if we can get through it and all the kids and all the people who are supposed to get something, then I'm happy. But anyway, what I'm saying is, man, you know, $2 super chat is an awesome gift, man, and it helps us keep this moving. I know we did a lot of giveaways the last couple of weeks, man. I am just gonna take like at least this week off from doing giveaways. I love them, man, but a little burnout, not because I don't want y'all to have stuff, just because it's a little bit to run it. You know, it's a lot to run it. So we appreciate Massive Audio though for they literally supplied Massive Audio and Rigo literally supplied all that stuff that we gave away. So
I stepped my game up. I got a freaking binder folder with a bunch of paper in it now.
Word. And Josh and Rigo are working behind the scenes to get you guys your stuff, and we appreciate them. And you know, it's just incredible. I can't believe that a company would want to use my show as their outlet. So I appreciate them for that. And I appreciate everybody who played, man, and everybody who won. It was awesome. I love seeing people get stuff. But I just want to take like a week or two break from doing giveaways or raffles or any of that stuff, you know, just so we can get back to talking about car audio.
Breathe a little. Yeah.
Right. I just want to talk about car audio. If anybody knows head units, I have an Alpine Halo, an Impala, and a Kenwood 1057. The max speeding rod is neck to neck on some features and actually better on both the front and rear sub channels. Man, that's how I feel about the Atoto. I really do. Like matter of fact, I would even go so far as say it was better. And I didn't have a Alpine, and I'm glad that one is too. That lets me know that that's one I can check out and recommend because I trust your opinion on it, KD. But for me, like the Atoto was like I had this Pioneer, and I didn't buy the Atoto because I wanted to buy the Pioneer because I'm like that's what I grew up on, Pioneer, Kenwood, Alpine. I'm like, it's going to be better than this Chinese one. And it froze up all the time and didn't work. And it was awful. And, you know, it would just literally cut off in the middle of me using it. And it was one of those, it was a bottom of the line next unit, but still, I mean, it should work, right? I mean, they're selling it as something that works, so it should work. And it didn't. And then I got the Atoto and I was like, what? It's like one of those few times where I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? You know, because I've had zero freaking problems with this radio, like none. Matter of fact, if anything, it surprises me. They sent me I still have to review this, but they sent me a tire pressure monitoring system to go with it. I've got a ODB2 dongle that goes with it, and it displays all my gauges on the radio and stuff. What else goes with it? It's got a bird's eye view camera that goes with it. Like they're working really hard to kind of make a whole environment around their technology. So that bird's eye view camera is really cool because when you're backing up, you can see behind you, but you can also see down this way, like this. The hell? Like you can see the top of your truck and the shit from the top. So it's really handy. Cool. I know, and my wife definitely needs that. She went back into some shit.
Jason's finally installing his shit.
Word. Grundig makes pretty good radios. Not too many people know about them. I think they're made in Germany, not cheap in price. My wife's from Germany, so I don't know what that has to do with any of this, but I said it. So
9.
I know 9. Duncan. Let's see. Not cheap in price, but sound quality is said to be great. That's pretty much most of the things that are made in Germany nowadays. Most of the Germans have a lot of car stereo stuff. I've actually got a guy over there I talked to that fixes stuff, but I mean, they're going to have that quality that you don't see in China unless, like, I'm not going to say always that China makes bad stuff, and they don't. All right, left to their own demise or whatever, they do. Like if they're in charge of it, they do. But if you know, iPhones are made in China. Like there's a lot of stuff that's made in China that's just fine.
I know.
So, but it takes usually somebody to, a company step in and say, hey, make it this way. So, but the things like they sell on Alibaba, the things that they produce, and again, these things I'm saying are not for everyone. I don't mean everyone in China. I just mean, or every company. I just mean generally that's the way it works, is the things that they produce and do on their own or not. They're usually very, very budget, very, very cheap and things like that. But I mean, I've seen them make some really excellent stuff too. But the people in Germany always make excellent stuff, and they do it on their own, and they want to get paid for it. So yeah, it's usually expensive. Golly, man. Let's see. What's up? What's up, Terry?
What's up,
Terry Tebow? Boss was the first company to break my heart. Oh man, you kidding me? Crunch was the one that got me. Bought a dual head unit a couple times, still worked fine. Man, dual Stewart was all around a lot in the 2000s and then early 2010s and stuff like that. Like you saw so much of that shit. Y'all remember they had those plexiglass speaker boxes with those dual subwoofers in them with lights and shit in them, and they look kind of like Audiobahn shit. Where's Jason at, man? I'm sorry, I saw something. Hey, can you do that? Can you hold on, I'm gonna text you. I was wondering how that guy got back in here.
Yeah, actually, I think my brother had two or still does have two Audiobahns in a 12-inch box, and it all lights up, has mirrors and everything inside of it, man. It was pretty cool, man. He was like, hey, you want this? And I was like, I keep forgetting to get it. You sent something to me?
Yeah, I sent something to you, man. Kick that dude out of here. He's been banned. He's blocked from my channel. He's blocked from my freaking page, and you don't need to. You trust me. He's not somebody you want around. And something's wrong with him.
He's talking a lot of shit.
Do you see the shit he's saying that I haven't even put on the screen?
There he goes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, let me ask y'all this: like, what if somebody blocks me? You know what I do? I don't talk to them anymore. Yeah. Like, we're done. We're good. Like, you don't want me around? I'm not around. You don't have to worry about it because I'm busy. I got shit going on.
He was on my shit. Like,
that's how
your
he
shit
got
to
through.
my shit.
That's how he got through. But because he can't get through to me because I've already had this shit with him. All right. He's already been like fucking with US Amps. They actually were like, hey, this guy's crazy or whatever. He's saying stuff. And then he did it to me and stuff like that. And then he's doing it right now. But, and I know y'all are probably like, what the fuck y'all talking about? I'll tell you. But like, if I'm just saying though, if you get blocked, if like somebody blocks you and doesn't want to talk to you anymore, like they stop answering your messages, they block you, why would you go somewhere else to talk to them again? Like get on a different profile or make a different profile or go through your buddy's thing or something. Is that not kind of crazy? Is that not crazy shit? Yeah. Is that not crazy shit? Like somebody blocks you. They don't want to talk to you. I've told you I don't want to talk to you because I'm not a blocker. Like I'll tell you first, I don't want to talk to you. Like I don't like what you're saying or whatever. Stop saying it. I try to give you a chance or whatever. But I got to do shit and I don't have time for that crap. So blocked it is. You chose that. Then you come around, you start talking on my business profile. So I get rid of that. Then you come around on something else. And then just now, he's been blocked from the show for a minute. He comes around and comes right through him. And the first fucking time he's on here, he's talking shit again. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, what's wrong with you, man? It's like, it's got to happen everywhere he goes. Definitely waiting for that USS 100. Are we waiting for it? I thought the one that's coming to you. Yeah. Rigo's got you on that, man. I'm sure. We just need to get through the holidays. But look, this guy's like, you guys are so wrong. You're clueless. This guy's a dickwad, man. You guys are putting out misinformation. Nobody's for what? What did we say that was wrong?
I know. What the fuck did we say?
We're just talking about Bluetooth.
We're talking about Boss and Bluetooth.
I know, and I said I don't like the way it sounds, and that's misinformation because I don't like it. Like I'm pretty sure that's true. I don't like it.
Go blow yourself.
Man, this guy's an idiot, man.
Stupid.
I don't.
That's like why can't we just get through a damn show without someone really fucking saying dumb?
Well, here's
shit?
the thing, man. Nobody's going to his place and doing that. Like we didn't go to his house and do that. Like you keep coming here.
Fuck you.
You've come here several times and gotten kicked out several times. You keep coming back. We live in a fucked up. We live in a fucked up time, man. It's a time where motherfuckers think that they need to say say whatever.
I'm telling you, the internet should have never been fucking created because that's how motherfuckers get their ass whooped in real life.
I don't know about that, but I think that the anonymous part of the internet is
bullshit
an issue.
This bullshit behind the scenes and shit. Your mom's basement, you bitch. Like, I'm a minister. I can't be talking like that.
Yeah. I just think it's hilarious though. Like you've been kicked out, then you feel the need to come back, and then you get kicked out again, and you feel the need to come back. It's like, dude, when you don't realize that you're the one screwing with us, but then also we don't realize what people are like. I've met some people that I thought were problems in real life, and realized really quickly why they're problems because some of them, like mental illness, is a real thing, and because to me that's mental illness. This guy's got to be mentally ill. Like, why would you come back after you've been blocked several times and then find different ways to come back? That's really cringy and stocky.
Yeah, like he literally went through my shit. It was like, okay, I'm gonna find him because probably motherfucker, he probably wasn't even subscribed to me, and then he just, I'm like, this is the first time I've ever seen this dude.
Sorry, I'm trying to weed through these, going backwards. So, got your number 2 pencil to go. Yes, you're a madman. Talking about Rigo. Glad you're feeling better. And that's from all of us, man. We are glad you're feeling better. Thank you. Thank you for all you do, Rigo. This is that weirdo. There's some praying hands. Timbo. What's up, Timbo? Let's see. Who's the plug on the waffles? I know you're wanting to talk. Norm's want to get on some waffles, man. Brandon on Facebook has got the waffles on lock, bro. Michael Warmer, that's some stalker shit. That is some stalker shit, bro. I appreciate you thinking that. I did too, man. I have had some girls do that. And yeah, he's saying check your DMs or whatever. This guy literally one night was in my DMs, man, and this guy had a whole 8-hour conversation with himself because I was asleep. I mean, he just kept on sending shit and talking and shit like that. I don't know if he's on drugs or what, but that guy was on some stuff. Like you ever wake up and somebody's like just really just talk to themselves in your fucking phone? Like I had a girl do that one time. She's like, "Oh, so you're not going to answer me and this and that?" And I'm like, "Dude, I never even saw you. I was sleeping. Like, what's wrong with you? Like you're over there getting mad and shit. I never said a word." Like, and that's what this guy did. Except for it was like pages of him talking to himself but mad at me. Or whatever.
Send me a bunch of fucking videos and pictures.
I know, trying to prove whatever point he's trying to make or whatever. And it's like all we said was that we don't like Bluetooth. I don't like chocolate ice cream. But the most consensus around is that it's good. Is that misinformation because I don't like it? Like I don't like a lot of things. A lot of people like
talk shit, and then you guys are putting out misinformation, and then you're gonna fucking send me some shit.
You're gonna take his side over. Number one is not that you're not your own man, which you are, and that's something that he needs to realize. But before I took some crazy dude who just got in my show and started fucking with you, I would take your side because you're my homeboy. So. How can you expect? You think you're gonna send a bunch of shit to you, and you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, well, fuck my partner there." I'm gonna ride with you.
Bro, this is our fucking show. You're in here fucking with us.
Now I'm your buddy.
I know. It makes no fucking sense.
What a douchebag.
Get the fuck.
Let's see. Don't be a D-bag and get blocked. Yeah, I know. Most people don't need to make that note, Stuart. I don't like blocking people, man. I want everybody to see it, man.
That's
I do, but I can't have, that kind of shit is just disruptful. Like anything this is an opinion show. Y'all know that, right? This is an opinion show. Like, y'all come here to hear our opinions on stuff. A lot of the things we say are opinion. All right. Now, when you go to my pre-recorded produced shows, those are more about facts. All right. More about tests and things like that. But this show is me giving my opinion about a lot of things. And I need Bass giving his opinion on things, people, products, situations, things like that. And that's what it is. And if you don't, if you disagree, that's fine. And we want you to disagree. But we want to, talk about it. But I mean, you got to be respectful.
Yeah, like we're not going around calling people like, oh, you guys are being misinformative or you guys suck. And
especially when it's opinion. It's an opinion show. Like I said, it's an opinion show. So
yeah, we're fucking adults.
Mike, your radio, your radio car system thingy is in a box. It's going to you today.
Yeah, man.
Your speaker. Your speaker. Red US amps USA 50. I thought it was a USA 100. What's up, man? Didn't that what he said? Now I'm starting shit.
No.
No, he did say that though.
He did say 100. He said 100.
No.
Oh shit.
Where'd he go? There it is. Boom. Wait for USA 100. Man, y'all should fight about this.
Yeah. Y'all should go at it. Y'all need to talk to each other or something.
No, somebody's just wrong. I'm just teasing. Guys. Don't do that. Yeah, definitely some stock shit. Let's see. I think we went too far. Let's see. Here we go. Boxed up this morning. What's up, Kavarbris? My brother from another mother. Let's see. Some people got way too much time. I agree with that, man, for sure. And they're laughing. It is funny. It's stupid, man.
It
blocked
is.
you. You came back. You blocked you like the cat that won't go away. Keyboard warriors all day, man. And there's no reason for it, because no matter how hard you yell at somebody or how crazy you go, you ain't like I never even looked at nothing you said. Like, like I never even considered it. Like, if you would have just calmed down and said what you had to say, like I would have listened.
Yeah, like, man, we can tell like who's different in here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we know our regular people that comes in and supports us,
man, and that's fine. Everybody doesn't have to be regular. I want to see new people here, man, but not that dude. Not that guy. Not that motherfucker. You can go fuck off for all I care. Let's see. If you don't got haters, you're doing something wrong. Now you're right about that, man. That is sad though. That is a sad truth. Like if you are not, somebody's not hating on you or trying to do something to you or whatever, or trying to throw shade at you or whatever, then you ain't doing something right. Like if you're doing something and you think you're good at it, nobody's trying to fuck with you, you ain't good at it.
Right.
Unfortunately. See, that's a lot of wasted effort, man. That was a lot of wasted effort. That's my point. It's like you're not even making no point, man. Nobody is paying attention to you. Like we stopped the minute I saw what road you were going down. I quit looking at your shit. Ghosted Music's based waffles, hands down. Oh yeah, he's the one who showed me how to do it, dude. Quick question: when do you need a Matrix Plus? Didn't you ask us that before?
I feel like we was talking about the Matrix last time.
I'm almost positive we got asked that before by the same person.
Yeah. And what was it? A DSP?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Because I didn't know what it was then. No. Hold on a minute. And then I remember it turned out to be something that if they would have asked a different way. It's an audio control thing, like a Epicenter.
Right here.
And a line driver, an Epicenter. No, I know what it is, but I'm not an audio control freak, so I don't know that stuff. I'm Rick Penna. I guess I get thrown off by your question because I've never heard anybody call one of these a Matrix Plus. It's kind of like calling a Sprite of Coke or something. Like,
I've always heard of DSPs, and that's why.
Yeah, or Epicenters or something like that. So that's kind of what I know things by. But and I've never had one of these, so I don't really know if. So if you're, are you asking when somebody specifically needs a matrix, or when somebody needs an epicenter? I don't know when anybody actually just specifically needs a matrix plus. 100 it is. I like Rigo, man. My bad. Let's see. Not trying to get off topic. What is the topic?
I know, right? I don't even know anymore. Shit.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like kicking people out. Is that the topic? Not trying to get off topic. No. That's funny though. At least he did bring some entertainment in here. Let's see. I was wondering on your amp dynos, you set the gains on amps when you're doing a load test. So I do. I used to do it with the DD1. A lot of amps now I already kind of know where they go and stuff the more I do it. But if it's like a funny one or something, yeah, I do. I use the DD1 to set the gains and stuff. And I was gonna Bradley Epperson sent me a budget. What was I gonna say? I lost my whole mind. The thing that shows the waves and stuff. Like y'all gonna think I'm crazy.
Oh, oscilloscope or whatever.
Yes, an oscilloscope. Oscilloscope. So he sent me an oscilloscope. I totally dadded on that. I blanked out. And sorry. He sent me an oscilloscope, and I was gonna try to start looking at that, but I really want to get one of those. You know, it looks like one of those old Star Trek computers, like the oscilloscope. It looks like that. Because that's what a lot of people use, but I may play with it. I'm going to play with this one and see. But yes, to answer your question, I usually do that. And if it's an amp like a Tar amps or like a Salt or one of those or like a JP amp, I already know exactly where they go. But just because I've done it so many times. But yeah, for stuff I haven't seen before, absolutely, you have to, because if you don't, then you're not going to get the proper reading. Which that's a different show. I'll go into that later. I plan to do a members only thing. So if you're a member, you'll know. I think you are, Stuart. That where I go through like how we set up the dyno and how that works and stuff like that. And here's another thing. I want to stay with that for a second. Like I've been talking to Steve Mead about an AD1. Not that I really need one, because the AMM1 is basically the display in a good portion of the AD1. It just doesn't have the resistive loads and stuff, and you can't like just switch them with a button and stuff like that. Like I actually have to unscrew each resistor and put it back in to get each load, which I could build something that would switch it quickly if I ever wanted to, I'm sure, but I just haven't done it yet because it hasn't been a problem really. But the 81 does that, but it's $5,000. You know, that's what he's saying they're going to start selling those for this next go around. They don't make very many of them. Usually they're to order, or they just make a batch, you know, once every couple of years. And then once they sell, they sell. It's a very specialized product. Nobody's like beating down the door, I'm sure, trying to buy 81s. The only reason I want one is because Big D has just, you know, done such a great freaking job of amp dyno and so many things that I've had a lot of people, not bass heads, but I've had a lot of regular people say to me, well, that's not even a real amp dyno. Or Big D on the real amp dyno got this. And I'm like, it's the same thing. I mean, it's made by the same people. It's, you know, it's just my resistive loads instead of theirs, but you can clearly see that they are the correct resistive loads because you can see the display. Like an amp dyno is a really easy thing to use. Like, I mean, there's really no way to kind of screw it up or whatever. But I would like to have one just to, you know, have that official look or presence, I guess. Yeah. Not for $5,000 though. So
what's up, me? Like, man, you already know me. I want an AMM1 my damn self. Like,
yeah, I mean, to me that was a big cost. You know, spending $450, $500 just for that. Man,
it's like, damn. Not to mention, I went on and got me a voltmeter and some other shit and some clamps. So I still need to get up with you.
I mean, if you go back and look at Big D's videos before he had that, that's what he did. You know, he had some stuff like that, and you can figure out. You can, you know, as long as you got some kind of metric. Of course, it's harder. You know, that's the reason I got the AM1, because I didn't want to have to do all that math. But my whole point was going to be that you kind of set the stuff up the same way. Like even with the AMM1, you still need to set the levels and stuff like that.
Right.
And I imagine Derek, though, by now has probably got them all memorized. He's done so many. So that's it. And that's kind of the difference between the two. Like with mine, it's more like of an external display, and his is more like all in one type deal.
Right.
But I the other thing too is his will, you can do the different tests, like the certified test, goes up to clipping or was before clipping, and then the uncertified test is like with clipping, and then you got your dynamic test, which the dynamic test is always going to be the same. And then I only do 2 tests, he does 3, and because I really don't think anybody gives a shit about the certified test. Do y'all? Or do y'all just like the dynamic test and the?
I
just
like the
like
dynamic test.
I like the dynamic and the uncertified. I don't really care that much about the certified test, so that's kind of why I don't do it. But if y'all like it, then I will. But the way that you would do it with what I have is like his machine will tell it when to stop. It'll say, all right, it's fixing to clip, let's stop. And I can't do that. I'd have to run the video back and like watch it until it starts to clip and then give you the info there. Just the same way I figure out the efficiency. That's how I do it. I just watch the video, see where it starts pulling on the battery and figure out the efficiency from there. So, but I don't like the the certified test, because nobody who runs their amp certified. Like, I'm gonna run them until I I don't want to say I'm gonna run them into clipping, but I'm at least gonna run them up. Huh?
It's like, I want to see what this thing can do.
Plus it's a test. Like, I want to see how far to go. I don't give a shit if it's clipping or not. Now, if it's in my car,
I want to be proper.
Right. I don't want you to stop. Like, I don't care what it does if it stops before it clips. I want to see what it does clipping. I had a ghetto girl tweaking. Twerking. All right, tweaking. I had a ghetto girl twerking to my bass at a stoplight today, but it's Florida. She's probably on that Florida shit. Everybody in Florida's on that shit, man.
Oh, like, never mind. You must have been tweaking. Never mind.
I don't mean it like not everybody, but every time I've been in Florida, like, you could hit one with a rock. You hit a tweaker with a rock wherever you were. Like, I met a girl one time at a club, and I thought we was hitting it off, man. And we went back to her house, and she went in the bathroom and started doing coke with somebody that was already there. And I'm like, what the hell?
Damn. Okay. The fuck out here.
Yeah, I wasn't fucking with drugs back then. Yes, y'all answer. It was at the end. Yes, y'all didn't answer. It was at the end of the show. Yeah, I don't know. You see, the problem is, man, is I don't have a Matrix Plus or whatever. I mean, it's just a line driver, right? I mean, it's when you use it when your radio doesn't put out enough volts to drive the amp. I mean, that's not really a question. I'm not sure what you're looking for, Rick. Like, what do you use any line driver for? It's a line driver, and I mean, that one particular one's called a Matrix, but there's several that are not. I have one that's made by Down for Sound that I use in my wife's car. So, line out driver, Soundman uses it to iPad to amps. Yeah, there you go. I like Soundman too. That's a good place to use it if you're using something like that, like a weird ass source unit or something like that. Or most radios have enough voltage to drive amps, but I think that was more like if you like a factory head unit would be a time to use one. If you have a factory head unit and you're trying to tap into it or something, would be a bad time to use one if it needs it. So the Matrix. Oscilloscope, yes, oscilloscope. Yeah, dude, that's a line driver. I'm not trying to be a dick to you, man, but it's a line driver. Like, I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. It's a line driver.
I'm just wondering, is it something special with this?
I mean, is there something that it does that I don't know? Because I've never had one, Rick. I've never had one. So there's something that it does that you're trying to get me to talk about, and just tell me. Like, I don't really know what we're doing.
Tell us, baby.
So, I mean, you use a line driver when you don't have enough voltage coming out of your RCAs. So if this line driver does something else, I mean, I don't even think it's I said Epicenter at one time, but I don't even think it's that. It looks like it's just a line driver. Yeah. So I don't think it really does anything. I don't know what does a plus mean? And I've never had one. And there's a lot of things I've never had. So To boost the signal to your amp or sound processor. So no, it doesn't have a processor in it. I think they kind of lied when they said plus. I don't see any plus there. So, scope. That's the way to say it, man. If you're thugging. Catch me at a show. I give out big Jeff Hater chains and merch with my demos. The haters are everywhere. Word.
Big Jeff still has haters?
I'm not getting into that. Need to get myself an oscilloscope. It's an affordable option for tuning. It is. And it's, of course, it's cheaper than a DD1. The thing about the DD1 is just really simple. That's one of the reasons I use it, because time is always a factor for me. Like, I don't want to. I just want it to be quick. So, that thing, it lights up when you're in the place that you don't need to be, and just back it off a little bit and you're done. So an oscilloscope, though, it's going to give you it's going to give you more details. It's going to give you more data there. And that's great if you're looking for that stuff, but I'm just looking to know when I'm getting into distortion. So I'll take a gold chain. If only they were really gold.
Man, that'd be dope.
Right. I think I got a few old ones. I need to test them out. Gold chains? Bro, you're a beast at this radio tech. Talking about lows. Now what have I done? I know, all right. Lose my load.
God, Stuart.
What's the base? What's the best base but cheap, not too expensive to set up 15 wise? What is the best base? What does that mean?
Base but cheap.
You're talking about the best. Hold on, man. Let me think about
15 inch subwoofer. Are we talking about subwoofers?
I'm not real sure, man. Hold on. Let's see. From my understanding, some head units only hit X amount of output voltage. Right. That's what I thought I was saying. If I didn't say it as well as B&D Auto did, that's exactly what I meant. But when your head unit doesn't have enough voltage, or whatever your source unit is, if you're using an iPad or a phone, because some people just go straight from their phone to their radio. They have like a little Y adapter or some shit like that. I don't use RCA, so I really don't fool with that stuff in my vehicle. But line drivers have been around for years, and tons of brands make them. So anyway, have you seen a wattage meter that Basehead Garage is making? I have not, but I'd love to look into it, man. A wattage meter that tells you the wattage coming out of the amp. That'd be pretty cool. I thought, wasn't LF Audio working on something like that? I don't know if it's going to be part of his bass knob, but I thought he was working on something like that.
I think he is coming out with something else too on the side.
Yeah, I saw something the other day too that was different that I didn't know about.
It was a temperature gauge for all your subwoofers.
Right. Yeah, I use the Term Lab. That's right. And a lot of people use Term Lab or some other stuff or whatever. My problem is, though, that's for y'all's like internal testing, and nobody cares. Everybody there is versed in car audio and knows that that's a viable thing to use. My problem is I'm dealing with the public. And, again, like, I've never been one to like just force things down people's throat. Just be like, yes, like when they go, oh, that's not the real dyno. We go, yes, it is, blah, 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 and this and that. I just rather get the thing they think is real and just use that, just to stop the bullshit. Not for $5,000. not for that. I'm sorry. I love Steve Mead. I think he makes some really great stuff, but I'm not paying $5,000. I can't do that. And he hasn't said that I had to, so I don't want to make it like that or anything. He's not just picking on me. He said that the parts are really expensive and stuff since the COVID and stuff. So, I mean, you got to charge what you got to charge. I just can't pay that much right now for something that I really don't need. It's just a looks thing. I'd like to have one though, man. If anybody knows anybody who might be selling one or, has one that they don't use or something like that, let me know. Reactive loads, right? Oh, so y'all use like subwoofers or what's a reactive load? What are you using for a reactive load? Because reactive loads are a hell of a lot different than resistive loads. I shouldn't say a hell of a lot different. They're not terribly different, but you don't get any box drives with a resistive load. That's really the only difference, actually. And no sound, of course. If you ain't clipping, you ain't slapping. I know that's right, man. Terry driving around like the Man in Black.
I don't know if you missed a live earlier, but that shit was funny as fuck.
Did I miss your live? No, I started clicking on it. So it was 2 hours, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, man. It was funny, man. Because if I was just to fill you in on some shit, Terry did some shit to fuck up some shit. Okay.
Yeah, please fill me in because I don't want to watch. I love you.
Yeah,
I didn't.
He got banned from shit.
Who he did?
He was top secret. He was top secret doing some shit. Okay, and got him fucked up.
Terry TBO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're all
got
like,
banned from what?
We're talking about drones and all kinds of shit, dog. Like, I was like, wait a minute.
Those line drivers keep me with a lot of business. Yeah, I bet, because people turn them up too much, don't they? Tell me, am I right? People turn them up too high and blow the shit out. Fucking RCA boards out.
All that shit.
Oscilloscope. Don't make fun of me. 15 is my bad, bro.
Well, I know me. Okay, so this is where we go back to the opinion things. Is that I've always said I love the 15-inch power acoustic BAMs, and I thought they were really good budget subs. What is yours for 15s, Jeff?
I'm sorry. I was reading this guy, what he's saying, what Caden's saying about the garage guy or whatever. I don't know Basehead Garage. Number one, let me say that. I don't know who that is. I've never seen that show. I don't know anything about it. I do know who LF Audio is, and I do know that Caden is right, what he's saying, that he is testing and doing things the correct way and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna dog this Basehead guy. I don't know him. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know him. But always, really, I would say, man, with anything, even my show, like the shit isn't, anything that you got to look at anything that's on TV or on film as entertainment. You have to, because you can't, if you blow your shit up, they're not going to do anything for you. Like, you can't just be like you have to just kind of like getting information from Facebook, man. Like, it's fine to get it, but just use that to find out if it's real. Like, use that as the way to, like, if somebody says something on Facebook, you take it in and then you go and you find out if it's real.
Yeah, don't just. That's like that's what your mama taught you when you're younger. Don't believe what everybody says.
That's what I'm saying. You take the information in and then you go corroborate it, and then then go from there. Anytime you take like just one thing that anybody says, especially nowadays, because people say things just to get people excited or to get people to watch them or whatever reason, whatever. They've got all kind of reasons, man. Some of them doing just because they're dickholes. They're just doing shit. And you got to make sure that you're looking at it. So with anything, man, I would take it with a grain of salt that you see on the internet, and always, as bad as I hate to even put that on my own show, like I have to, like you have to. I can be wrong. People can be wrong, or they can be doing stuff. I don't necessarily really ever do things to be entertaining. I just happen to be entertaining, I think, because I'm retarded. But I think that you just got to be careful, man. If you're a person who's really looking for the real truth, it's really hard to find online, man. It really is a lot of times, because look, when I started doing this, I didn't understand. Like, I thought people would want to know like different tests and things, and some people do, but there's a lot of people who are really they just want to have their own thoughts that they already have backed up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, they already believe that a brand is the greatest, and they just want to have somebody say that's true. Or they want to hear that they think that this thing does this, and they want to hear somebody say it. And that's what they really want. They don't want to know the truth. They just want somebody to stroke their ego. So just be careful what you see on here, man. And Caden, I appreciate that update, and I appreciate you watching, man. Man, I've gotten some cheap things that were okay, but yeah, I mean, a rule of thumb is, if you don't pay a lot for it, then it may not be as good. I won't say it's every time though. That's not always true. Yeah. But yeah,
there's been times I paid for nice shit, and it's like, no.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, lately it seems like I even pay for expensive stuff, and it doesn't last. It's like the cheap shit and the expensive stuff doesn't last. So
it's like the scary shit is buying for your examples, you buy a camera and you're like, please please be what I think it's going to be. You know what I'm saying?
And I get that way with everything nowadays.
Yeah.
Like everything I buy, I'm like, man, please just do what you say. And then if it does work and there's a problem, then the company just do what you say. Like I bought a gimbal. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but it's a stabilizer for a camera. So it'll stay like smooth. Like when you make turns and stuff like that, it doesn't wobble and all that crap that you see with amateur videos. And I bought one. It worked great. A month in, the charging port broke. It just didn't work anymore. Like it broke, like it snapped out of it. And I'm careful with my stuff. I'm a grown man. So I write the company. They're in China, of course. So I write the company. And I'm like, hey, this thing broke. It's a little bit outside of the Amazon window, but we're only talking like a month. Like, so it's not that old. And I'm like, this thing broke, whatever. And the first thing they write me back, well, did it fall? How did it break? And I'm like, it broke because you didn't make it very good. Like, why would you ask me did it fall? Like, I mean, if it did, I wouldn't tell you. Number one,
I know, that's stupid.
Like, yeah, like you're asking me a question I wouldn't answer anyway. But I mean, obviously, I didn't. I didn't drop it. And then they're like, okay, well, yeah, we'll warranty it. Just send it back to us, and you pay for that, but we'll send it back to you. So I go to do that, and guess how much the fucking shipping is?
What?
Like $300-$400 to get it to China. And I'm like, the thing costs $200. Like, y'all know what y'all are doing.
Yeah, he's trying to make a fucking profit.
And there's a lot of companies that are like that nowadays, man, that they don't want to honor any warranty. They just want to say it when you're buying it. They want to say there is a warranty. But when you actually try to use the warranty, they've got like 500 different reasons why it's no good. And that company is Fiutech, if you guys want to know. It's Fiutech. They make gimbals and other stuff like that. And yeah, I'm putting them on blast because I think that's a really crappy thing to do. To offer a warranty and then make it to where the warranty just, I could buy 2 gimbals for what it would cost to get the one gimbal repaired. And how do I know that it's even, once it's repaired, that it's not going to work for another month and break? What I got to do, send it back there again for another $500?
Hey, let's give a moment real quick. Stuart, thank you, man, for
the chat.
Yeah, he's about to leave. That's why I was like, I just
want to okay. All right, Stuart. Thanks, man. I don't want to highlight your comment because I don't want to get lost, but thanks, Stuart.
Thank you, bud.
We love you, man. Always. We appreciate your support for sure. So they use subwoofer massive. So I bet like you like walk by there and it's like when I first started testing, I did that, man. And it like I was just like, wow, like about past 3,000 watts is all I could handle, like of like wide open subwoofer testing. And I was like, I can't. My neighbors are not going to be okay with this.
No. It's like the perfect spot. Yeah, the perfect spot would definitely be like where EXO lives, man. It's like in the middle of fucking nowhere, and it's like, oh, dude, you can base every fucking day you want.
Yeah, I see a lot of people.
Parker.
I don't understand B&D audio. I don't understand. Like, I'm not an amplifier technician, man. I've never claimed to be. That's like the first thing I've never claimed to be. I know a lot about the way amplifiers work, and I know a lot about a lot of amplifiers, but I don't know what's inside of them and stuff. I'm just learning now. But I've seen a lot of people who repair them use oscilloscopes, and I don't know. I'm not real sure why. I guess there's something in there, some sound or something that they're measuring. But I agree with what you're saying here for sure. That's why I use a DD1 because I mean they're precise, and you don't really need to be precise to set your amp. You just need to get it out of distortion. Don't run a distorted signal. And I mean that's true too. I ran a good 12 or 14K. Not what they were rated. This is what they did, because I can test and see what they did. Like a good 14K through a couple of XV3s. You asked me that earlier and I didn't answer. I'm sorry. I've got 2 XV3s in my truck, and I ran a good like 12, 13K through them, but it wasn't, it was clean, so no problems. Yep, new amps can't take the high RCA voltage. Yeah, I didn't think so, man. I thought that is exactly what you were saying, bro. What's up, Rico? Let's see, Yo Timbo. What's up? This is where Stuart said, I know he's tapping out. He's beat. Yeah, man, I'm with you. I'm not going to be on here much longer either. Oops, I kicked the camera. But, man, I do want to say I'm sorry for last week's show because, man, I was just fried, dude. I was done. I did not want to be on there. I wasn't feeling it. I didn't want to be on here, and I'm sorry about that. I am. Just
I don't know.
Understand I'm just a person.
Yeah, last show was kind of weird, man. It was just from the holidays, man. It was just kind of like
that's what it was, and it seemed like the whole show, like I didn't get to talk about any car audio. It was just giveaway, and I love giveaways, but it's a lot, man.
We got burned.
Most of y'all are really cool, but if a few people, are just like dealing with two particular people is like dealing with 30.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's like
it's kind of let's see. I need base 2 shit.
Shit.
Send me pictures of the port. I'm sure I can fix it. What port? What are we talking about? Oh, wait. No, what? Did I say a port was broken? Oh, on the thing. Yes, I was thinking about asking you, man. I really was. It's just a regular old USB, not a C. It's the one before it that they had, like the one that used to charge all Android phones or whatever. No, it is. No, wait, I'm lying. It is a USB-C. It's a USB-C. I was thinking about my camera. It is a USB-C port, and whatever the little, how a USB-C is kind of like a oblong shape, and then something like a little board goes in it. Whatever that little board is broke off and came out. I imagine it's probably one of my chargers, probably one I thought didn't work and threw it away or something. But I looked up in there the other day. I was like, damn, the whole damn thing's gone. What do I think about on lithium and C-Max? Isn't C-Max lithium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I heard C-Max is a little more dangerous than most shit. This is how you treat it.
All batteries are dangerous. So I don't mean to contradict you, but that's the truth. All batteries are dangerous. So that's the first thing you gotta understand.
See, that's the point of the show. You can. You see what I'm saying? You see what this happened?
Respectful, right?
He has a different opinion than me.
So
that's how we're supposed to be, man. He has to shit.
All batteries are dangerous. Electricity is dangerous in general. So
yes,
you got to keep that in mind.
I would not.
That when you start screwing with any of this stuff, man, that there are things that like fire and other things, shocking things that can happen to you. So if you don't know what you're doing, don't fuck with it.
Hell, even AGM batteries, they swell. Shit.
I said, all batteries, wet batteries, dry batteries, gel batteries, lithium batteries. But lithium and C-Max are the same. And I know I'm talking semantics, but they are the same. I mean, lithium is all lithium batteries, and C-Max is a type of lithium battery. So C-Max does have a reputation for bad things happening. And the problem is when their danger is a little higher than the rest. So, but from what I have a C-Max battery that I'm currently testing right now just to screw with and see what it does. It's just a small one, like a 50 amp hour one or whatever. But I see how it works.
I'm wondering, are you asking that? Is it? I know they're both lithium, but are you saying about the bounce back of them? Because lithiums are.
I think it's just saying, what do we think about people using them in car audio? And I think they're great. I mean, I think lithium batteries are awesome. I think that I don't like old school like AGMs and liquid batteries and stuff like that. I love lithium batteries because even with like a LiFePO 4, like you just replace a regular battery with LiFePO 4 battery and you've got like 4 times the battery. It's got way more power, lasts way longer, takes less time to charge, doesn't degrade as much and stuff like that. So and there's a lot of things about them that I don't even know that are positives too. So I'm all about it. The problem is really with lithium and car audio is just people's understanding of them. Because just like I said, you've got to understand that all batteries are dangerous. Number one, if you're going to mess with them, like all of them are dangerous. And I don't think a lot of people do understand that. And that there are many different chemistries and a lot of misinformation out there. It's taken me a while to learn, trying to dig through the misinformation and stuff like that. I'm actually putting together a video currently about the 148 amp hour lithium battery that Jag 35 is selling. I've done a show on one before, but this one's like the one that's all encased in metal, and it's like their top of the line deal or whatever. And there's just so much information. It's kind of like one of those uncharted territories in car audio. There's some people that understand it, some people that don't, but it's one of those things that it's really kind of like the people don't. And it's where a lot of, as bad as I hate to say this, man, a lot of con men are kind of hanging out at because they know something that the general public doesn't know. So they're able to sell things for really expensive prices a lot of times that really probably don't cost that much. You know what I'm saying? Like people are hanging out there like trying to get money and stuff. And I've seen it a lot of Facebook groups. I've seen a lot of Facebook groups. I've seen a lot of major retailers, man, where they're selling batteries that are super duper expensive. They don't cost that much to make. You could build one yourself for way cheaper, but again, they're dangerous. So, you know, you need to have some guidance when you do that. But as far as like what do I think of them? I mean, I don't think there should be anything else. I'm all about lithium. Like I love it. I love it. It's amazing. It's amazing. I can't wait till the next technology comes out, battery technology. I'm glad that electric cars are here because I know that will push the battery technology into the next innovation. So I don't know if that's sodium. People have been saying for a while sodium batteries were coming next, but I think that ship sailed, man. I think that if they were coming, they would have been here. So good night, Stuart. We will tuck you in. What's up? Salt 8 is putting out more power without dropping voltage as much as Salt 3. Is that to be expected? No. No. What? Let's see. Can I raise volume higher before clipping? Can I raise the volume higher before clipping? So, I mean, I guess I need more information, man. You're saying the 8K is putting out more power without dropping voltage. So obviously the Salt 8 is a more powerful amp than the Salt 3. So it's going to put out more power. And then when it's doing that, you're saying it doesn't fuck with the voltage as much. Okay. Didn't you put an extra battery in there or something? Or you didn't do anything? You just changed it straight from the Salt 8 to the Salt 3? And then can you raise the volume higher before clipping? Does that amp have a clip light on it? I'll tell you something, man. For the most part, most clip lights on most amps are pretty dead on with the DD1. Most of them. I've seen a few that weren't, but the Salts are pretty close. So if it's got a clip light on it, and I'm sorry, I can't remember if Salts have clip lights on them or not right this second. But if it does, then there's your answer right there. Just watch the clip light. It's kind of odd though that an 8K would be using less power than a Salt 3. I don't have an answer for that, man. These amps have regulators and stuff in them. That's why they're called low voltage amps. They're supposed to you know, Salts are weird, man. They other amps will blow if they get too low. And Tebow's in here, man. He could probably answer better than I can on this.
Oh, Michael, that
Timbo could probably answer it a little bit better than I can on that stuff. But I know this, that every amp I've ever had, especially like the Korean amps, man, they want 11 volts. Like if you don't give them at least, like if you get past that, like they're usually smoke. So, you know, a lot of people think giving them too much blows them up, but not giving them enough, letting them dip. That's why everybody's getting these batteries and all these things like that, because they're trying to keep them from dipping. Because it doesn't take but one trip down that hill for it to smoke out, and then you're done. So, but these Salts they'll operate at lower voltage. So I'm not really sure why you're 8K, and I'm not sure how you know that either. I think we need more information, is what I think on that question. I need to know some more. The Maroon Monster is coming. The Maroon Beast. That's not a bad one either. So it's a Maroon Beast. USB micro. Is that what a USB-C is called? A USB micro? Oh, you're probably talking about the first thing I said, and I was wrong. It's USB-C, like a Thunderbolt cable or whatever, a Thunderbolt 4 cable. But the Maroon Monster is not coming at all. It is freezing cold outside, and I am historically indoors during the winter. Like I don't go outside and do shit.
Fucking hibernate.
I mean, it's got to really be paying me something to do it. So the Maroon Monster will sit where it's at until probably February.
Just until it heats the fuck up.
Do what?
Until it heats the fuck up.
Yeah, until it's a little warmer, or until I can get it in a shop. No, if we can get it in the garage there or something, then I'll work on it. But I'm just going to be collecting amps and parts and stuff like that. Please send a like. We need those likes. Oh man, I'm glad to hear that. I didn't even know you had one, but yeah, they are good, man. They're decent batteries and they're cheap, and that's the thing. And there's a lot of people talking bad about them, and I've never really I want to say I never really figured it out, but it's because I don't. There was one thing I promised when I started Base Dad, that I would take products over people. That I always would take products over people. It's actually kind of like our, if we were to have a saying or a quote or something that had something, that talked about Base Dad, that explained what I thought, it would be people over, or products over people. And to me, what that means is that I don't care who's selling it. I don't care who's talking about it. I don't care who the competitor is. I'm taking every product on a firsthand, what I think basis.
Yeah.
I don't care about the logo on it. I don't care about the person selling it. I don't care about what people have to say about it. And I've found a lot of good stuff with that ideology of thinking that we're just going to take this product one by one. And really what I found is a lot of companies make a lot of great stuff, and a lot of the same companies make a lot of bad stuff. So, and especially nowadays where things aren't really manufactured, they're bought. So at least by the Americans. So there's a lot of the same stuff and a lot of different logos on it. But that's with the Jack 35 batteries, man, he started selling those so cheap that it just got so much hate. And I think the hate really comes from those same people that I told you, they're kind of sketchy, hanging out in that area, trying to sell a lot of lithium batteries for really expensive prices. Because I've seen some lithium batteries, man. I've seen some LiFePO 4 batteries, which are damn near the same shit as what he's selling for $1,000 or more dollars for a way less amp hour battery. So when you put out one that's $150 and it's as good as my $1,000 battery, that can cause some feathers to get ruffled. Y'all seen the new Circo sodium batteries? He getting pushed back on Facebook groups promoting just like you did with the Lev 60s. The price is similar to LiFePO 4. Is that a Jack 35 battery? I have not seen the Circo sodium batteries. To help with your question, Trap House, is the 8 has way more capacitors for energy. So yes, you can. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jason. Oh, sorry, I was working and not listening. You're good. Base knob is clip light. Yeah, just keep it out of clipping, man. As long as that light don't come on, you're good. Not using less power, but it pushes louder. Okay, that makes sense. I knew that we were missing something there. Because I don't care what. I mean, I love you, Michael. I don't care how many capacitors that thing's got. It ain't no Assault 8 is using less power than a Assault 3. Like, that's just it's not happening. But not shitting on nobody here. I'm just saying, that's the way he explained it. So I definitely understand why somebody would answer it that way. It pushes louder before the clip light comes on at about 12.3. It's just got more of that low voltage shit in it, man. That's why. Came in late. Maybe I missed something, but if you think about an amplifier being used from 0 to 100% efficiently, decreases as you approach 100%. So Assault 8 putting out 3K would be in theory more. That kind of makes sense, but oh man, you taking chances with them amps. Taking chances with them amps. You got more money than me though. More efficient than Assault 3 putting out 3K. Well, we will definitely find out because I'm going to be testing both. So we're going to see what the efficiency is on all those amps and see if that is true. Let's see. That's a good motto. I believe it is too. The new XSDIY battery is only 40 amp hours and is a pre-order of $9.99. Yeah, I saw that.
I feel like I'm going to turn into a battery.
Brad is selling the sodium cells. Well, then I'll never buy one. Let's see. I might have missed the first. You're good, man. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's all just opinions and shit. Anyway, I think we're at the end. batteries are just complicated, man. It's complicated tech. If you don't, it takes a lot to know. Trust me, I've been studying them nonstop with the thought process of I'm going to understand this. I'm going to understand how these work and what they do and what people are talking about. And I have a tremendously huge understanding of how they operate and work, and still don't know, enough. So keep that in mind. If you're just a regular person who's working a job and stuff like that, man, don't worry too much about it. But any battery that's $1,000 is, in my estimation, is wildly overpriced. So
hell yeah, man. That's insane, man. Just to freaking say what one person said this is the best battery to get, and then everybody else follows. Then they're like out of money.
Well, I think if you watched my Jonathan Price interview, man, I asked him. I said, "Do you think that this seems like we're in a day and age where popularity matters more than your decent product? Having a decent product?" And he agreed as well. And I mean, Down for Sound, I love them guys, man. They're good guys, but they've definitely capitalized from that way of thinking. Like, everything they make isn't great. Like, they make some pretty good stuff most of the time, but everything they make isn't great. And but there's people will buy it just because it says D4S on it.
He basically admitted in your interview that not everybody can afford that shit.
Exactly. Well, that's another thing too, and they have to make stuff that people can afford, which obviously the $20 shit can't be as good as the $1,000 shit. So, that just makes sense. But I think that just brand, I don't know what, I don't want to call it what other people call it, but just loving something because of the brand, man, is kind of silly anyway.
Yeah.
But batteries definitely are one of those things, man, that people are being taken advantage of right now by the way they sell them. A lot of places sell them. You see a lot of small companies selling batteries, and that's why, because it's a lot easier than selling amps. I mean, the bottom is between Down for Sound, like Big Jeff and everybody else, and that's nothing against them, man. That's nothing. They doing what they should be doing, but the bottom, the profit margin in amplifiers and car audio is so small that you really can't, as a new company, come in there. I tried, so I know you can't really just come in there and try to sell anything and do it better than them, because they will always get them cheaper and they'll always get them better because they always have more money. So exactly. the place to go is where nobody is. Batteries. Those salts cook the boards in most of them when they blow. Yeah. I still like them. I do. I don't think as many of them blow, and they seem to. The couple I've had, man, and I'm not saying you're wrong by any means. I'm absolutely sure you're right, because I have seen some blow, but I think that they're hard to blow. I guess that's what I'm saying. They're just harder to get there. So. Brand loyalty is no different than the Chevy versus Ford debate. Spend your money with who you support. You always have the right to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about America, is you always can support whoever you want. And if you want to buy a car based on what emblem is on it, that's fine. All I'm saying is that when you do that, you may be missing out on something else. All right. And it may not mean that it's better, because I've never known any company to just completely make, better stuff, like dominant, good stuff. They've never not fumbled or whatever. And when I'm put it in context with these batteries, man, I mean, most of these major companies are really gouging people on these batteries. They really are. So I miss the prices of lithium before the audio world. Yes, audio did really drive up the price of lithium. That is not a joke. They really did. I was building big RC, man. They were giving away batteries. I mean, especially like these the ones like Battery Hookup and Jag have, I guess you call them what, like repurposed batteries or whatever. And I mean, you could just go to the dump and find them or something. Speaking of Down for Sound, they have their 40-hour. Yeah, I saw that for $500. But see, here's the thing about that. And again, I love them, man. I love them, but you're talking about a 40 amp hour LifePo 4 battery for $500. You can get 140, what, 6 or 7, I can't remember what it is, 140 something amp hour battery from Jag for $300. I mean, it's like 20, that's like 5 times the battery, 5 times the capacity. It's the same battery.
All they did was slap a name on it.
Yeah, LifePo 4 is LifePo 4, man. But anyway, what's up? What a name.
Got money though, don't we?
It's great putting in the competition. I love companies like that when they drive the prices down when they're too high. Now, what I don't like, and I know this is crazy, but I don't want to see all the profit taken out of the market. I just want it to be affordable. You know, those people have to live, and I get that. Like, you have to make money. I just don't like it when people are gouging, and that's what the battery market is doing right now, is gouging.
Yeah,
gouging people, and I don't, I do know why. It's because people want to make a lot of money, and there's a lot of money for people like me, you, whoever. Like, we can go get some recovered batteries, stick them in a case, put a name on them, and sell them for 10 times more than we paid for them. Well, there's a point where there is a little too much profit. Seems like an amazing deal for $300 for that much battery capacity. It is an amazing deal. I've got them, man. I'm using them. They are great. They're working awesome, and I have no complaints. I have none at all. I've got one 10-cell battery on my Amp Dyno right now, and it's really hard to beat. I had to build another one though for that 24K massive, and that's only in 1 ohm load though. That's a huge amp, man. That is a huge amp. So I put together another battery, and I'll try to test it this week. But I got it on there at 2 ohms, and it got really close to 11 volts, and I was like, oh, you can't do this. I'm gonna have to add a little more. You got to remember too, I got four power supplies on there too. So 4 100
how
watt
many
power.
LEV 60s?
I've got 4 400, or I've got 4 100 amp power supplies. And you're asking me how many LEV 60s I have on the.
No, I'm curious how many LEV 60s will be enough for 30,000 watts in your own opinion.
For that amplifier, it would be it's rated at 18 volts, and that's something that I didn't expect. I didn't realize that when I agreed to test it. I'm still going to test it because it will work at 16 volts, but they say you could get the most out of it at 18 volts. Well, I mean, my power supplies don't even go up to 18; they only go up to 16. I can't get 18 volts unless I, reduce. Even if I redid the batteries to where they're like 6S or something, I don't have a way to charge them. So. That's a lot. There's a lot of problems when you're changing voltages and stuff like that. So, but to power it at like 14.8 or something, man, it really isn't it's the amps. Like, how many amps is it gonna take? So if it's like 1,000 or 12, then you need to have 1,000 or 12 amps, whatever that equals. So, and I'm bad at math this late at night, so I don't even want to try to figure that out. But it's several. Yeah, it's several. That's why Coventry bought practically all of CMAX. He owns the market. Yeah, man, they did do the CMAX deal. You can't find it hardly anywhere. Not the ones that everybody wants. They did have Jag had some at first, but Coventry came in there and did that. But they make some beautiful bus bars, man. But they're expensive as fuck too. I mean, golly, man. They are expensive. And if you really think about what it is, I mean, where they do good work and everything, they are expensive. That's why there's so many do-it-yourselfers in the battery world. But, some people don't need to do it themselves. Some people do not need to do that. Causes problems. Man, we've had the biggest audience we've ever had, at least on my page tonight. So we appreciate you guys, man. I think there was times where we had 40 people at once watching. And I know we're streaming on about 4 or 5 other platforms as well. So I think I added, if I didn't add it this time, we should be on Twitter next week. So hopefully, I don't really know anybody who's on Twitter, but a lot of people are. So hopefully we'll pick up an audience there too. Guys, I'm done. I'm fried chicken, man. I appreciate y'all support. If you won one of our giveaways, then we are starting to process that stuff this week. Just keep it cool, keep it patient. We love you guys. If you want to, I know it's Christmas. I know we didn't get a lot of super chats or anything tonight. That's okay. You know, we know that everybody's got to recover, man. You can be a member though, and that's really cheap. It's only like $2.99 for both of our channels. You can be a member on my channel for $2.99. You can be a member on Honey Basis channel for $2.99. That's a great way to support us or your other favorite YouTuber. If we're not your favorite YouTubers and you like somebody else, then do that for them. But your favorite YouTuber could always use support. And if you know, just are like, man, I just spent it all for Christmas, like me, because I did. I spent it all. I'm kind of tight right now. Bought a lot of stuff for myself I shouldn't have bought. Just hit that like button, man. Just hit the like button before you get off here. Just hit the like button, share it. You know, those things mean the most because, you know, somebody else will see it and they'll want to help out. So, guys, we appreciate y'all. Message me if you need anything. Congratulations to the winners of the Martz audio amplifier. I have new content coming out this week, man, and I'm gonna try to get better about letting the members see it for a day first. So I can't promise. I get happy when I finish something. I'm just like, I want everybody to see it.
Let's publish.
One other thing, man. My last video got 2,500 or something views all by itself with nothing crazy happening. Nobody doing anything to it or anything. So that's wild, man. That in a week that I would get that many views so quickly. Thank you.
Just some love for that.
There's some love. All right, guys. As always, you can watch more of our videos right now on YouTube.